This I'd like to introduce you to. This here is Bakari Naim Sosa. He goes by Becca. He's a teacher at a primary school in Tanzania. He teaches 200 students. If you can imagine, they're all in the same large room at the same time. They're in grades 4, 5, and 6, and they're primarily orphans and other vulnerable children. He's also the CEO and founder of Rising Hope Organization Tanzania, which is a registered nonprofit in Tanzania. Tell you a little bit about Tanzania. On the right side of your screen, you'll see it's there in Eastern Africa. It's home of the Serengeti National Park, which has lots of big game animals like elephants, lions, leopards, buffalo, and rhino. And it's also the home of Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the largest, tallest mountain in Africa. Now, the start of our story. On October 22nd, so that's about a month and a half ago now, Becca responded to a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, by an author of mine, Dave Murphy. Dave Murphy's the author of this book, In the Heart of the Forest, which is about his experiences with PTSD, and it's to help people who have dealt with mental illness in the past. So Beck had responded to it, saying, what a wonderful book, good for you. And Dave sent him a digital file of the book so that he could print it out for his students. And Becca said he would send Dave a photo of his students once he had done that. And it was just a black and white laser printer that he has. So that's all he was going to do, is print out a black and white version of this book. And I contacted Becca, telling him I would look into the cost of shipping books for him so that his students would actually have, full color, the real physical books in their hands rather than just a printout. On October 30th, Becca sent the photos of his students with these black and white printouts. You can see them there, and this is a tweet that Dave Murphy sent out about how excited he was that the students received this book so far away, right? More than 14,500 kilometers away. And I was also very happy to see that. But it also motivated me even more to get the original books into their hands. November 3rd, 3 days later, I choose 20 books that I've published, so a wide range of books. There's story books, activity books, books for English learners. And I find out from Canada Post that if I want to send them by boat, it's going to be 2 to 3 months or more. If I'm going to send it by air, it's going to be $250 just to send a box of 20 books. And it's going to take at least 1 to 2 months or possibly longer to send it by air. Well, because of the cost, I decided, I'm going to pay to send it by ship. And so there's the box with the Canada Post documents on it. I paid $150, 20 books, plus the cost of the wholesale cost of my books, $100, because they cost me $5 each to print. So I spent $250. This was when there were rumors of a Canada Post strike coming soon. So I wanted to send it off quickly. I didn't want to wait to think of, someone else help me to pay for this or whatever. I just sent them off. I wanted to get them out before the strike happened. I told Becca that they're on the way, that there's a tracking number, and Becca, in all his communications with me, is just so heartfelt and so gracious in all of his messages. You can see there, thank you, Dan, for your good heart to send the books for my students. They'll enjoy the books very much, and it'll help them with their reading skills and increasing their knowledge. So I said, you're very welcome. November 18th, only 15 days later, I was amazed to get this message and photo from Becca saying the books had arrived. So obviously, even though I only paid for shipping by boat, obviously it was sent by air for whatever reason. It was arrived 15 days later. And as you can see, Becca wrote a very gracious message here saying, may God bless you and so on. So wonderful message. I was so happy, and I couldn't wait to see the photos of his students with the books, of course. The next day, he sends me this photo of his students holding the books, and this photo, and another photo, and there's a video, and I hope I'm able to play it. I've never played a video within a presentation. Maybe I can't because of anyways, this is what, I wish you could hear it, but anyways, this is what he says. Thank you so much, Dan Kostka, for these books. These books will help us in improving reading skills. May God bless you so much. Send our greetings to your family. My name is Sarungi Kebwe. I'm a standard 5 pupil, which I assume means he's a grade 5 student. And I really wish I could play that, but I guess, okay. Anyways, I'll move on. So that's what the student reads out there. And it was so touching to see the students holding the books and to hear that video message. And I told Becca, if there's something more that you need, just let me know. I can't promise anything, but I will, I'll look for supporters and so on. And he sent me the certificate of registration of his NGO there, to show that this, it's a registered organization. And the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to help some more. Now, just to tell you a little bit more about his organization. So it started in 2021. It assists orphans and other vulnerable students, and it provides for basic needs such as food, school uniforms, exercise books, and health and sanitary products. And something that was very touching and heartbreaking to me was he explained to me that, especially for young girls, there's an issue where they'll miss school if they don't have proper sanitary products when it's that time of the month, and they'll stay home out of embarrassment. And so to have uninterrupted schooling, it's very important that the girls get the sanitary products that they need. And that's something that his organization does, among other things. So I asked him, I can't promise anything, but if you needed something else, what would it be? And how much would it cost? And so he broke it down for me here. And you can see he broke it down for school uniforms, where it's shirts, skirts, short pants, school bags, and shoes. And it comes to 920,000. There's a zero missing in has a typo there. 920,000 Tanzanian shillings, which thankfully, due to conversion, it actually converts into only $491 Canadian. Now I decided to make a goal of increasing that to 600 so that I could cover Western Union fees or any exchange fees. And what I did was I put a message on Facebook to friends and family saying, if you'd like to contribute, send me the money. And so $245 has been raised, and that means I'm 355 short of the goal. And I thought, why not? Because there's so much compassion in the Toastmasters Club. Why not present it to you and it maybe inspire a few of you to contribute to help me get to the 600. So I need 355 more. Now, how would it work? It's very important. There's some key points because I'm uncomfortable presenting this because it's never been done before, but it would have to be tracked where someone other than myself receives the donations. So it could perhaps be our treasurer or another executive member who receives the donations. It doesn't go directly to me. I don't want to set a precedent where people ask each other for money in Toastmasters and it becomes uncomfortable for people. Secondly, again, no social pressure, because I'm not going to directly ask people for anything, and I'm not going to follow up with them saying, are you one of the donors or not? Again, Toastmasters should not be a place where people ever feel pressured or uncomfortable because they're being asked to do something that for whatever reason they may not do. Maybe you've already committed to another charitable donation this season, or maybe you just can't afford it. That's your business, not my business. And so it should be anonymous too. Whoever the executive member is who receives the donations shouldn't tell me who did and who didn't donate. If someone chooses to tell me, that's fine. They say, oh, I chipped in 40 bucks, great. But if they choose not to, that's fine. So I won't know if you didn't. And there's no guilt, no social pressure. And of course, it should be validated. If someone's receiving money like myself to donate, it should be validated. So I'll provide proof of donation, such as the Western Union receipt. And of course, I look forward to photos and perhaps a video message from the school once they've bought the supplies, and I can present that to all of you saying they now have what we donated and this is what they did with it. And also how it could work. Perhaps the club sends a message out to members, giving an email address for the executive member who is going to accept the donations, and have a cutoff date of this Friday, just to give those who are not here today a chance to decide whether they're going to contribute. And also, we could perhaps have a message that includes the link to this presentation for those who are not here tonight, so they know about it and what it's all about and whether they want to contribute. And of course, I'll provide an update at a subsequent meeting as to the amount raised and photos and videos from the school when they received it. And I apologize that I'm slightly over time. I'm just down to my last two slides. When I told Beck I was going to do this presentation, I asked him for a little more information about his organization. So he sent me this detailed letter talking about what their organization is and how they use their money and whatever. And I'm happy to forward this letter to anyone who's curious and wants to read more about the organization. I will forward that to anybody who wishes it. And finally, there's another photo of him with his students, with a few of his students. There's my contact information. If anyone has questions they want to direct directly to me, feel free to call or email me. And that's it. So I hope my purpose was to inspire, not to put pressure on anybody. Like I say, no one will know if you don't choose to contribute, except for that one executive member, I guess. And thank you for your time.